Good evening and welcome back to my channel. This is another unboxing for you, and this is something I thought I had done, but apparently I didn't, considering the fact it still got shrink wrap on it. I did and I guess I got it confused with the SU-122 that I've done, or 152, whichever one it is. I can't see it from here. Anyway, obviously this is the Trumpeter, 1/35 scale Russian KV-2. This is a butt ugly vehicle. It's basically a I mean, it says tank. It's a self-propelled gun. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. There's the purists and folks are going to call things differently. It's a KV-1 chassis with a honkin' big 152 howitzer on it, and they built a box around it. So, box art. It's pretty straightforward. You get a picture of that and some details in English and I guess several other languages. Made in China. Some picture there, and then pictures of the model itself, and English transliteration of some details about it, and some Oriental language. I don't want to say it's Japanese because this was made in China, so I'm going to bet it's Chinese. But there you go. And then there's nothing in the back. It is Trumpeters numbers 000312. So, the KV-2. For those not familiar with the KV-2, it's a early war, big, early war gun that was used to blow things up, which is sort of obvious, right? One of the reasons I like it is it's another example of Russian make do, and we need to make things go away, and we have this big gun, we have this chassis. Let's put the big gun on a chassis and build a box around it so we can drive it up to where it is we need to blow things up and blow things up. I don't, if I recall correctly, there were still KV-2s active during the end of the war, but the SU and the JS 152s were pretty much the what was being used to serve the same purpose as this. Anyway, so let's take a look at the box. Obviously, I'm not a armor expert. I'm a model builder that has an interest in Russian engineering. So here's what you see in the box. Your instruction guide, your boxes of plastic, and then you have some other things over here in this box. So these are your rubber band tracks. We'll look at those in a minute. Your turret housing and cable and your hull, and then boxes of plastic, and then transfer sheet. So let's put this stuff here, and we'll take a look at the instruction guide first. So, if you guys want to know more about the KV-2, you can do a history lesson. The Google is your friend. Painting and marking guide using basic Russian green. As I recall, there weren't. Basically, these didn't get a lot of camo. These were painted green, driven out, and used until they were knocked out. Again, efficient. Get it done. Get the equipment where it needs to be as quickly as possible. So, the instruction guide, let's see what we have. So there's our, that's what I'm looking for. There's our sprue map. Number one, make holes. So, this is one of those that, you need to add holes into the pieces that are already made. So, as always, read your instructions carefully. So, and this is in English, which is nice. I've run into some kits where you don't have things in English, and there are important steps, and you miss it because the iconography isn't necessarily something you can follow. Looks like we have a choice between link and length tracks and the rubber band tracks, which is a nice option. and then the rest of your screw map. So step 3, the hull assembly. You have your main tub there, and you're putting details out. So that's nice. Kind of curious as to why it's done that way. Because it looks like it just goes together. So interesting. Your hull is pretty simply built. Put your engine deck together and just start putting stuff on it. You see your suspension pieces look like they just glue straight in. Here is your track. This is your link and length, and it looks like they, according to this, or at least the implication is that it's got its sag built in. This is how to put your rubber band tracks together, melt the pins together. Engine deck cover, wheels. Yeah, it's interesting you handle your wheels later. Many of the other tanks, armored vehicles, whatever, you do your wheels and tracks first. Interesting. Not that it really matters because you're all putting them all together at the same time. Turret housing, front, sides, back, details for the back. Excuse me, details for the front, your mantlet, details that go on your back, and then your gun. And then your other equipment parts. So it looks kind of simplistic. You have your cables and other attachment pieces. So a lot of the, not a lot of stuff on it, not very busy. You've got a couple tool pieces. The tank's not very busy. It's a put it together, like I said, it's a put it together, drive it out, and go shoot things. So it does have, it says here, supplied optional parts for you to use if you so desire. So I'm assuming these are these little detail parts that go around here. So this piece and your brass wire and so forth. So, okay. So, and a bunch of extra paper because, it was. So that's your instruction sheet. Looks to be straightforward as a build. So let's go ahead and take a look at our plastic that we have here. Set this here off to the side. So we have our rubber band tracks, and interestingly, the details aren't terrible. So, are they accurate? I don't know. You Russian tanker, you Russian tank fanatics could probably say so. There's detail there, right? So someone like me who is not familiar with the specifics is going to be content with that, but I suspect it's going to be hard to get a decent sag out of these, or at least a sag that will approximate, the right stuff. So this is your inner tub with some detail at the bottom. It's even got cast texture, so I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, some cast texture for the bottom, which is kind of nice. Why you glue things to the outside of this, I don't know, but it is what it is. So that's, your tub's kind of nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the turret and other things here. So you actually have some clear pieces as well. Put this back in. So this is your, this is your copper wire for your tow cable, which I suspect will give you, a pretty good approximation of what it's going to look like. You'll want to, obviously paint it and dirty it up. Your turret, which is sort of the showcase of the model, right? It's pretty much what defines a KV-2 is how this turret looks. You've got some nice texture and some surface detail on it, which is nice. Your periscopes or viewports, whatever term you want to use. Now, this is interesting. Looks like there's a piece that belongs there, and that might be in the texture. Hopefully painting will draw that out. Some nice weld detail, so hopefully you can see that there. Some nice weld detail across the back to give that some nice scale view, so that's not bad. And then your clear parts, headlights, because headlights are supposed to be clear, I guess. And at 1/35 scale, important. And we also have our transfers, a very huge list, a very huge sheet of them. So you have the, and that's nice. So there's a they're taped together to protect them. So you've got a couple of Russian stars and the can barely read it. I'd actually have to translate because my Cyrillic is terrible. I apologize. I thought it was the Yarodny, but it's not. It's I'm not even going to embarrass myself. Yeah, my Russian is so rudimentary. If I take 10 minutes, I could actually read it, but I'm not going to waste your time while I decode it. One day. So here's our Lincoln length tracks, and you get two sprues of this. And as you can see, the top one does have the stag built in, and then you have your links together. So you'll have these. You'll put together two of these. I suspect that because I want to, and I mentioned this on my other tank video, I actually want to do this. This is sort of a something I've never done is these, put the treads together kind of thing, and I want to do it just because I've never done it. It's somewhat exciting for me. Yeah, and you guys who do this all the time are like, what is that nutball thinking? So, whatever. It is me. And here we go. So, detail pieces, tools, hooks, toolboxes. These are your tow cable ends, and they're shaped as needed, as you can see. So you'll have to find a way to attach this to the copper, which seems to be more challenging than it's worth. Your gun comes in two pieces, so you're gonna have to put that together. Now these tool pieces are some very nice detail, so they're fairly fine. I'm not seeing a lot of flash. I am seeing nice surface detail on the pieces. So the pieces we have are detailed well. Looks like you have the top of this, so you can actually have your hatch open. Yeah. Pieces are nice. So this is your underside, or your side panel. Plate, I guess is the real word. The word is plate. Also, detail has that cast surface detail. Again, I'm wondering why it was put together like this, and not. I guess perhaps it's easier to mold this way than in the slide mold for the tub to get the detail. So that's probably why. I guess that makes sense. But you can see that. That's nice detail there. So I hear good things about Trumpeter. I don't think I've ever put together a Trumpeter kit, and a lot of what I've heard about them is positive, and so far I'm fairly pleased with what I'm seeing. This is the bottom part of your turret. Your door again also has nice cast texture. The handle pieces, your mantlet. Nice. Yeah, your details are actually really very, very fine. Your handle detail right there. I mean, you can see how small that is. And some weld detail up there. Yeah, this is very nice. I'm very, very happy with that. Again, I apologize to you guys who are experts in Russian armor. I am very definitely an amateur, so whatever I've said as far as details of what I think I know, and I also recognize the fact that I only think I know it. So these are obviously your wheels. Again, nice detail. Little bits of flash, but they're very minimal. It's like 10 seconds with a knife to clean up. Your details are excellent. There you go. And obviously you get two sprues of those. Actually, no, this is a different sprue. So, okay. So this is the other side. But when it comes to, I love I guess it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. So, I love the ingenuity and the engineering of the Russian people, and the way the Russian army and the Russian people sort of made do. So like this, and the Su-152s and all the crazy stuff. I mean, even the flying tank. I mean, they stuck wings on a tank, for crying out loud. Dropped it from a glider. The willingness to try anything to defend their homeland was just unbelievable. And the ingenuity and engineering that the Russians put forth on their equipment is worth, in my opinion, learning about and seeing. And I'm enjoy learning about it. Nice detail here. You can kind of see that there, that vent. Hopefully you can see it. I think I can see it. I can see it. I can see it here in front. Again, all of the surface details have this cast texture. This is different. This is not as cast like the tub pieces are, but it has a metallic sort of feel to it. It's not just flat plastic, which is very nice. And then your details for your suspension pieces. These are nice. So these pieces here, these are your brackets that go here, right? And those are thin. I mean, you can see that. Those are very thin. Those appear to be roughly scale and approximate. Typically in a plastic kit for something like that, a reinforced piece would be sort of chunky and out of scale. But that, oops, my apologies. But that appears to be fairly close, and at least it won't bother me. I'll put it that way. Again, you experts may have other opinion, but for me, again, nice detail vents. Okay, so this is probably what you use for the I'm not gonna guess. This looks like it's what you would attach your copper wire to for your tow cable. So maybe I had this now. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not going to guess. Since I'm not going back into the instruction book, I'm not going to know. So 2 more toolboxes, your vents. Interesting. Yeah. The detail on that is really nice. So, and again, there's your, a couple more tools, your hooks. So one thing this doesn't have is a log, which is sort of a big deal for the Russian tankers. Toolkit or a toolbar, towing clamps. Interesting little details. So those little pieces, detail parts that are well done. Getting those off is going to be entertaining, but it's part of what we do. So I like that detail is there. Sprocket wheels. Yeah. And then the rest of the parts of the vehicle. So there you go. That, in a nutshell, is what's in this box. The Trumpeter 132 Soviet KV-2 self-propelled gun, tank, whatever you want to call it. I believe I was to understand it's a self-propelled gun, but Trumpeter calls it a tank, so we'll call it a tank. My gut reaction to the kit is really cool. I like it. I like what I see. I like the options to it, and the Lincoln length tracks look to be well done. So I'm going to at least try it when I do this. Hey, that's what's in this box. So if you are interested in this kit, I think it was actually fairly affordable too. And it's 2017, so it's a fairly new kit too. Hey, I like it. I like the way it looks. It's something that I'm looking forward to building. And hopefully if this is on your radar and you're curious about what's in this box, here you go. This is an amateur's view of an inside the box, and hopefully this answers your questions. And hey, let's see how this builds up a little bit later. So until then, as always, thank you very much for watching, and hope this helps, and happy modeling. Take care.